How to write a corporate credit card policy. So, what's the big issue here? Well, the issue is scaling your business means more transactions. And when you have more transactions, there's higher risks. There's two big risks that we should think about: the risk of overspending at a certain expense and also fraud risk. The solution to this is internal controls over spending and finding out, most importantly, what is and isn't a legitimate expense. And as we'll see toward the end here, you can really accomplish this by automation. So, what are the potential problems? Unclear spending amounts. We need limits by dollar amount. This person can only spend up to $5,000 and control spending categories. Person can only spend for travel because they're a salesperson. Missing receipts, and even more important, receipts that are submitted that aren't eligible or torn or smudged. We can't read the receipt. Spending approvals that are delayed or missed. This slows down the approval process, which slows down the accounting process. And finally, reconciliations can't be completed because we don't have all the expense information entered, and that delays our monthly close, which is probably the biggest issue of all. What are the components of a policy? What about issuing cards? When is a card issued to an employee? For example, maybe somebody is in charge of a large project and they have purchasing responsibility. Spending limits, we talked about how much is an employee allowed to spend. Spending categories, the types of allowed expenses, for example, airfare, hotel, meals for a traveling salesperson, and what expenses are prohibited. We may have a list of prohibited expenses. Receipt requirements, we've got to include the date. We also need to know the reason for the spending, what was the purpose, and the dollar limit for submitting receipts. Maybe it's every receipt over $50, we need a physical receipt. If the spending's below 50, we don't need one. Who's the approver? The sales manager approves the sales department's spending for all the salespeople, for example. And really big, communicating the policy. Certainly during onboarding, you want to create it, but also when you're sending the policy to everyone in your organization when things get updated, because people need to be in the know when things get updated. And the key to all this is automation. For example, systems where you can submit receipts automatically using mobile. You just scan it. You don't carry it back to the office. You're not having physical travel expense reports, that kind of thing. Get away from that. Set spending limits by dollar amount and category automatically. Automated alerts to approvers. If somebody doesn't approve something, management's alerted how long that has been delayed. And finally, real-time expense monitoring. You can see stuff going on in real time and flag transactions, which brings me to why I'm such a fan of Ramp. Ramp's corporate card, here designed for modern finance. This is all automation is all about saving money and time, and I love the Ramp card for that reason. And as you scroll down here, you can prevent out of policy expending because you can build in the spending limits and controls when you assign the card and issue it to an employee. Free from expense reports, you're not filling out physical reports. This has been a hassle in business for decades. And grow your business with the right kind of perks. I like that they have a simple perk process in the cards. So many cards have a complex perk and reward system. Ramp's card is simple and easy to use, and you don't have to invest time tracking all this information. So I do highly recommend Ramp and the Ramp corporate card.